fucking maroon is really pissing me off today.
Dude.
So pineapple juice is really good for the throat, apparently. We have like a thing of it upstairs, and my mom, like, this was around when I was getting the flu, but my mom bought it because her throat was feeling weird, and she just drank pineapple juice for like a day, and then her throat was like fine. So everybody out there, drink pineapple juice. Welcome back.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Under the Deck.
This is episode 4,
This is episode 4.
the original, if we're talking about Star Wars, which I still think is the best. The original one.
New Hope is definitely the best.
New Hope is some
Well,
prime time
New Hope isn't my favorite.
war in
I
the
think
stars action.
Revenge of the Sith
I really liked Revenge of the
is
Sith.
really good.
Hayden Christensen is hot,
True.
and like Ewan McGregor too.
Oh,
That whole cast is just like stunning.
it's good. But you know what? Revenge of the Sith, original trilogy.
Yeah.
All three, just totally out. Like just are way better than any three of the newer trilogy or the 90s/2000s one.
Yes.
By far.
Yes.
I meant to say Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Final movie.
Yes.
That is probably my favorite one.
I haven't seen that in a long time, but I understand why you love it because I love it too.
Yeah.
I just love beginnings of things like Fellowship of the Ring, like the first basically any first movie is what I dig. Like,
Yeah.
have you ever seen the Mummy series with Brandon Fraser?
I love Brendan Fraser.
Right?
And yes, that is a great movie.
He's a hunk, but the original Mummy, awesome. The original Lord of the Rings, like the first movie, because the whole thing's original, but the first movie, my favorite. First Star Wars, my favorite.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies,
Yeah. You saw Black Panther.
I saw Black Panther. I went this weekend. It was a very good movie.
Yeah. I really want to see it.
I liked it and enjoyed it. And
Yeah.
That sounds redundant, but it's not. Because for me, when I say like I enjoy a movie, it's
Yeah.
like the experience is nice.
Mhm.
Watching the movie was nice and
Oh,
I
I get
liked
you.
it. And it was a good as a movie.
I swear, you're going to be such good friends with Ted. Like, this
Oh,
is exactly how he thinks.
Can't wait. But then saying
I love you, Ted.
then saying I liked it is being like in relation to other movies, especially with like the plot and everything. Like I liked the way it developed. I liked Black Panther. I like how it fit into the other Marvel movies and how it connected things, and how it also was kind of a standalone movie. You
Yeah.
don't need to have seen any of the other Marvel movies to understand and like totally get this one, which is nice, and they did that on purpose. The only problem I have with it is like, you know what? No, I can't really find like an inherent problem. Like there were really no bad things about it.
Sorry if you guys are hearing the mic move a little bit. I'm just trying to aim it towards Jason.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good
Just because it needs to.
to be that.
Yeah.
But like,
whatever.
it's fine.
I hope it'll be fine.
Basically like, I'm a big Marvel fan, and it matters to me when movies make sense.
Yeah.
And, like, fit with everything else. And I think this is one of the only Marvel movies that hasn't been directed by, like the same like trilogy of people like Jon Favreau and whoever else.
Yeah.
But the director, I don't remember his I don't remember his name, but he did a very good job, and congratulations to him for being the first African American director to direct a Marvel movie, which is awesome. That's the point of Black Panther.
people.
Yeah, that's the whole
Beautiful
point of
Panther. Just so you know.
Beautiful Panther. And that's kind of like the whole point of the movie is like, it's like there's a lot of like political stuff about it because it's like, oh, it's just like a homage to like Black Lives Matter and stuff. It's like, yeah, that's the point.
Good.
It's like good, like good. That's a good movement.
What's bad about that,
yeah,
bro?
exactly. Like, what's bad about the fact that like people deserve to be not dead?
Yeah.
And like, so
We'll have an episode where we get real about
yeah.
political stuff. It's not this one,
but
but
it's not this one. Just like a lot of the cast is African American,
yeah.
and anyone who says anything negative about that, where it's like, oh, well, what about no, it's a movie about a country that's a fictitious country in Africa. Like, you can't even begin to start, like, debating. No,
Yeah.
there are 2 white characters, and that's it.
One of them is Stan Lee, I think.
No, there's 3 if you count
Okay.
Stan Lee. But
I
mean,
love
like,
Stan
I mean,
Lee.
like, actual cast characters.
Yeah.
There's Claw,
Yeah.
and there is Agent Ross,
Yeah.
played by Martin Freeman,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's all you need.
Yo, I love Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman's amazing.
Yeah.
But there was a post, and it was like, anyone who's going to see Black Panther for Martin Freeman is like going to a buffet for the napkins, and I was like,
Yeah.
that is hilarious.
True.
But it's accurate. Like, anyone who wants to say anything about the fact that, like, there should be more, like, white people, it should be a balance. No, screw you. Like,
You know how many fucking white people there are? Shut the fuck up. Oh my
Like-
god.
there are,
Chill for a second.
yeah.
Sorry.
So no spoilers about the movie, but very good. Good
What would you
plot.
rate it out of 5 stars?
Out of 5, yeah, in comparison to what? Like, as just a movie?
As a standalone movie.
As a standalone
Yeah.
movie, like a 4.8 out of 5.
That's awesome.
I have some problems with it.
Yeah.
Like, the soundtrack is really good in the
Mhm.
movie, but the soundtrack...
Oh, I really want to listen to the soundtrack.
The Black Panther album by Kendrick Lamar, I'm not too great about,
Yeah.
only because I'm not the biggest fan of Kendrick Lamar. I don't
That's
like his-
fair.
I like his music, but I don't like his voice.
Yeah. Oh, I get that.
So, like, that's fair. And also, there's this one song, King's Dead. It's not even in the movie.
Yeah.
But, like, thankfully. But, like, it features Future, who's
Yeah.
great. But, like, he goes into, like, this, like, weird falsetto,
Yeah.
but that's still auto-tuned.
You got to do falsetto right, man. Fuck
And
auto-tune.
he's like, look, like, Future's not good at falsetto.
Yeah.
But they just left it. Like, just went with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't dig with that.
Yeah.
But it's funny, so I
Yeah.
still listen to it all the time.
Yeah. That's
So, like,
awesome.
That's why it's still a really
Yeah.
popular song, is because
Yeah.
you like it, because it's
Mhm.
like, lol.
Yeah. Can I just dig on Prince's falsetto for a second? Ain't nobody ever beat that except maybe Michael Jackson and like The Weeknd or some shit, but he's the king. Rest in peace.
Whom both are inspired by Prince.
Absolutely.
Prince is a very influential.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Prince was probably influenced a little bit by Michael Jackson, just because Michael Jackson came first and was
True.
a star from like the time he was fucking 5 years old or whatever.
Yeah, but he wasn't like Michael Jackson, like Prince type Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Until
Later.
like 30s.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway, shout out to my boy Prince, the love symbol.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about what I promised to, which is the audition, which, like, it took so much brain power for me to just like constantly remind myself, like, audition. I gotta talk about it. I gotta like fit it in here somewhere. Because if y'all remember episode 2, where I completely forgot about that thing in like the space of like
Childhood
literally like
nostalgia.
3 minutes between episodes, and I was like, huh?
And I was like, Tim, childhood nostalgia. And you were like,
Yeah.
anyways. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
I knew we were never talking about
Yeah.
childhood nostalgia. I tried to bring
Yeah.
it back. And then the last time I tried, you were like, all right, well, it's time to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool.
Yeah, my
So,
bad. I'm sorry
audition.
about that.
It's
I'm
okay.
probably gonna do that a bunch. I'm gonna warn you now.
I know. So this
but-
audition.
Yeah, so basically I get there, and what was awesome about it is that they had like friends and family and whatever wait in an auditorium where they had live music going.
By the way,
This really talented guy like singing like his music, bunch of like cool jazz stuff. Like he was singing in Spanish. He sang his own song in Spanish. Like this guy
Nice.
was rad.
this is Berkeley College of Music up
Yeah.
in Boston. Just for
Yeah.
anyone who didn't get the memo.
Yeah, you know, love that place, but still don't love the idea of college.
Yeah.
It's Berkeley's like if I had all the money, and I was really really good, then I would like be totally like jazzed about it, and I would like
Huh.
be going so hard to get in there. But because one, I don't have the money, and two, I still firmly believe in the fact that you don't need college for an artistic career because of just how the industry works. I'm still kind of on the fence about it, but
Fair enough.
if I get in, I will do at least one semester there, pull a John Mayer or some shit.
Right.
But yeah, so the audition, I get there, and they have live music going and a big screen up behind them, and they're projecting names on it. And so my name comes up, I sit in chair number 12, and so I'm there for a minute, and then this guy Justin, really nice guy, comes and grabs me, and he's like, "Hey, you're up, bro." And I'm like, "Okay." But I'm feeling good about it because that placement I was talking about with my new vocal coach, I don't know if I've told anybody else about this, but I'm studying with Dawn Woods King, who runs DW King Talent, who I'm with for model stuff. She was a singer for like 30 plus years, and she's absolutely fantastic and has completely changed the way I sing and like the way I talk. Like, my voice is in a completely different place, and it's the best I've ever sounded in my life. And I'm so happy that like the placement clicked for the audition. Because I just went in feeling really strong. I was like, this is the best I could ever be at the moment. So like, it's gonna go well, basically.
That's good.
And so he takes me up to the practice room where they show you. I'm gonna let the secret out too because a guy let it out to me. They show you the exact sight reading that they're gonna have you do. Like it's literally the sight reading book, and they give you the examples. And that being said, I still completely botched it because I expected to be able to sing it, but the guy made it very clear I'm either auditioning on vocal or guitar, and for the purposes of improvisation and other theory stuff that I anticipated, and just like the songs I had chosen to play, being my song "Take Me" and "Seals Waiting for You," I knew that if I went with vocals, it would be a mistake, even if it would. Jason has told me about this before. A lot of people apply as male guitarists, so a male vocalist would have a better chance, like, categorically of getting in.
Right.
But I just knew I couldn't pull that off.
That's fine.
And so they give me my practice time. I do some of my warm-ups that I got from my vocal coach, and I run through my songs. And, I practice improv a little bit, just like in A major or whatever. I was just fooling around on the pentatonic scale. And then I take a look at the sight reading, and I'm like, this isn't going to go well. I try and sing it for a little while. Then this guy, Yohav, comes and gets me. He's got this sweet tattoo on his arm. He's got a rad goatee. And my habit of complimenting people. So, like, when Justin came to pick me up, he had a cool necklace on. So I'm like, Justin, I love your necklace. And he's like, thank you. Because it was a chain his mom gave him, and then it broke. Like, the attachy part broke. And so he literally took, like, an old rusted keychain loop and looped it through that. And I was like, that's awesome. And so then Yohav comes and gets me, and I'm like, bro, I love your style. And he's like, thank you. And so we're just talking, and he's like, you're going to do fine. Like, I got in, so, like, you can get in. And I'm like, sick. And so then we hop in the elevator. We're chatting and whatever. And so he takes me up. He's like, and then we sit down in his chair outside, like, the little office. Because it had a nice view, which was cool, that Justin told me about. He just sort of warned me. He was like, it's going to have a great view, man. And I was like, sweet. And so then when I actually got into the room, I noticed it, and I was like, that is a pretty nice view. But so then I sit down in this chair, and Yohav tells me to wait. Sorry, I got a little stuff in my throat. And he's like, you might want to get your guitar out, just double check that you're tuned and whatever, and then you'll be ready to go, and this guy should be another couple minutes. And I'm like, sweet. And, like, I go to unzip my bag, and the guy comes out. And so I'm like, great, here we go. And so then I go in, and, like, my guitar's all tuned up. I changed fresh strings and whatever, and, like, I stretch my strings out a lot, so they, like, barely go detuned once I'm done. Because I tune them a half step up from the note they should be. So, like, instead of E, A, D, G, B, E, it's F, A sharp, D sharp, G sharp, C, and another F. And so, it's... And then I let it sit like that for a while. And so the tension of the string sort of adjusts to that tuning. And then after like an hour or whatever of letting it sit, then I detune it down to where it should be, and I play it for a little while, and then like it's done, and it's good. And I use good like quality strings that like hold them, whatever. I can have an episode about music stuff, to be honest with you. But so then I go in, and he asked me, you're auditioning as a guitarist, right? And this is what I was talking about before. I'm like, I'm a singer-songwriter, so does that matter? And he's like, yes, you really need to like think about it and pick. And so I'm like, okay. And then, as I said, I chose guitar. And then I tell him I'm singing my song, Take Me, off of this project I released. And I'm singing, I'm mashing it up with Seals Waiting for You. And so I sing my songs. They go really well. I was really happy with that. And then he has me do a little improv. I do it over blues, which was super fun because I love soloing and I want to get way better at it. And he seemed to like that part. Like, this was the kind of guy that was like, yeah, you barely know your stuff. I get that. Whatever. You're not all that. Because I'm sure a lot of, male guitarists will come in and be like, well, I can fucking pull a Van Halen and I can just like touch the board and it'll make noises. That's a whole style of guitar playing that is cool, but I'm not really that into. And so he's sort of giving me these like nasty looks the whole time, and it's sort of like, but the improv goes well, and then he tests me on he has me do sight reading, which went horribly. At one point he was like, "You're just making it up now," and I was like, "Yeah." And then he has me do some blues chords and whatever, and then I botch a chord because it was a minor 7 flat 5, and instead of,
because we all know what that means.
well, the musicians will, probably. But instead of looking at the triad and literally just flatting the 5 and making sure it was the set, like, I could have done it so easily, and I didn't because I was nervous and whatever, and I was just like, I know this chord shape that is based around A, and he was like, that's not even the 5th, man. And I'm like, so I felt bad about that. And then we do pitch recognition and rhythm stuff and whatever, and I'm really good with rhythm. It's just that in parroting it, like if he starts on the upbeat, I'll go on the downbeat just because I'm always thinking about downbeats. And that's something I need to work on. But these people understand that like you're coming to a music school to learn. So to some extent, they give you like the tiniest bit of slack.
Yeah, because if you're perfect, then they're just like, well,
Yeah.
you don't need to be here.
Like, who was it? I think it was Jeff Beck that auditioned at Berkeley, and there was like a panel of people, and they literally like conversed for 20 minutes, came back and offered him a job. They were like, "We have never seen anything like this. Like, you don't need a school, man. Like, do you want to teach here?" And like, that's how good some people can be, and I'm not that at all. Like, fucking, ugh.
Yeah.
I wish I was that good, but. So I felt pretty good about the audition as a whole, and then we do the interview, and so Justin I think it was, no, it was Justin, and so Justin comes back, and he takes me down to, I had to take the elevator like 4 different times, like elevator up to the practice room, elevator down to the audition, elevator back up to the interview, elevator all the way back down to get back to my family, and so,
get back to my family.
yeah, and
That's my favorite part of Berkeley.
yeah, getting back to the family. But the interview was awesome. I love talking to people. It was a breeze. It was just like, why do you want to go here? You know, how did you start in music? The guy was super chill. I'm a friendly guy. I was talking about like Prince and Ed Sheeran and like this. I'll have a episode of this show where I just repeat everything I said about my life as a musician. And you know, I taught him about Roche limits and stuff, which I'm not gonna.
That relates to.
Well, because we were
music.
talking about the similarities between math, science, and music, and just
right. Okay,
that
makes
sort of
sense.
thing, and you know how just there are a lot of similarities in the way you have to think about it with theory and everything. And so I was talking to him like, if I didn't love music as much, I would be a theoretical physicist because that's how much I love space and just like huge stuff. There's space for a joke, but I know this is supposed to go to school, so.
Okay.
Fruit. I'll say that. Yeah.
So.
And so I was just talking about all that stuff, and I ended on a strong note. And so then I go all the way back downstairs, and my tour guide from like 2 years ago is hanging out. And so I say hi to him. His name is Russell. He's from Barbados, and I love Barbados. I've been there a bunch of times. Amazing place. Like, I love that island to death. Same thing with Anguilla. Absolutely amazing places.
It's also the name of the evil demon bat god in the Dark Knight's Rise universe for Batman.
Really, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But then I go and talk to my dad and my mom, and like it turns out Justin had come back downstairs to talk to my family because he was like, he is the most happy, like personable person I've seen all day. Just because I love talking to people, and I was like in a confident mood, and I was just like talking to people and whatever, and like I was at the end of the whole process, I was going down the elevator with this girl who had just done her audition. So I was talking to her, and she was like really timid. She was just like super nervous. Like she must have just been in like a state of just like, she was like in the zone. And so I'm like, oh, how'd your audition go? And she was like, oh yeah, you know, it was good. I think, you know. And so I'm like talking about my thing, and I'm like, I felt bad about this part, but like I feel good about it as a whole. And she's like, and she just seems sort of like she didn't seem like an extrovert, like very sort of introvert kind of
Right.
person. Like not that she was uncomfortable with me like talking to her. Like I wasn't being creepy or anything, which is the creepiest thing you could ever say. But it was just kind of like she's the kind of person who would want to like just sit around with a book like on a rainy day and just chill.
Well, not
That kind of
rainy day
person.
as well.
Yeah, just like give her a book and just like time alone, and she'll be fine to just chill and read and just be cool with it. That was the kind of person she seemed like to
That's
me. I
fair.
had a 5-minute conversation, not even. Um, but yeah, I felt really great about the whole process. And then we went around Boston for a while, got lunch, and then we headed back towards Gloucester. We stopped into West Marine, which is uh, for anybody who doesn't know, my dad was a professional sailor for a number of years, like until he met my mom. Basically, that's what he was about, and he still loves. He's the kind of dad that talks to me in sailing metaphors,
Right.
and like
Okay.
he was talking to Chloe and I both at 1 a.m. with sailing metaphors, and I had to like explain to Chloe what tacking was, and like that whole process of changing direction on a boat. Because if it's a sailboat, you have to literally flip the sail from one side to the other, and you can only go on like basically a 90-degree turn.
Right.
So you're like zigzagging up to the point you want to get to. And so my dad was talking about like, well, sometimes if you have a goal in mind, you got to take a detour, and that's you tacking, and just know that that's okay. And like, which was a great point, but how would Chloe have ever understood what the hell he was talking about?
Right.
And so we go into West Marine, and because Chloe and I are planning this trip for next year in the van, we're like trying to find anything that's useful. And my dad's like, you need to take a look at marine stuff because it's like the most like it's literally geared for small space, like accommodation and multi-use. And so we get in there, there are like tiny like like fold to the size like width of of like two arms together, and it's like a table, and you got like chairs, you have like solar phone chargers. We picked up like knives to like cut food with. I picked up these I was telling you about them the other day. Like imagine
Five
folks
by
at
three.
home
It's like a 5 by
the
3.
yeah like the shape of a light switch and like the rectangle around it. It's like if you just cut that out of a wall, it's that with lights on all the parts that aren't the actual switch. And it's just this little like green rectangle that you can stick to whatever. And it's with LED lights powered by AAA batteries. You flip that thing on, it is so bright. I will show you. It's insane. So I picked up 2 of those. We can just stick them in the top of the van and we're good to go. We picked up some knives. We picked up a little silverware, like collapsible silverware.
What?
It's
It's already
not
small
like
enough.
not like collapsible, but just like it all like it'll you can store them in such a way that they stack really, really flat.
Okay.
Like
I
every
gotcha.
like the knife, the fork, the spoon, all in like one little compact thing.
Gotcha.
And they just had so much great stuff. And like it's expensive because it's like marine stuff, and it was like right off the shelf, like not used or whatever. But it was amazing. And then we stopped into Savers. We pick up some dope clothes. I find a sweet purple jacket. I'll actually show you the full jacket. And I'll show you I found my prom outfit, everybody. Get hyped. You're going to see me in this sweet, long, white linen coat, white linen bell bottoms, sweet black shoes, like pointy ass, like stylish, like professional looking shoes, yellow button down. Like it was awesome. I found some steals, man, in
He
Enniscorn.
does look very fresh.
It's very fresh. I picked up some sweet rings. Getting into jewelry thanks to Chloe. It's
You
awesome.
look like the clothed version of like a lemon meringue
Square.
pie. Or
Uh,
lemon square.
yeah,
That one.
yeah, same thing. Well, not the same thing, but
Pretty much. the
same
thing.
color scheme at least. But yeah, it was a great trip, and then we came back. Chloe and I hung out here for a little while because we got back at like 8 o'clock at night, and so Chloe hung out here for a little while, and then it was Monday, and so we went to Savers again. I picked up those. I picked up some shirts, like the yellow shirt you saw me wearing today. Picked that up. Picked up a sweet rainbow shirt, a couple pairs of women's pants. That's how I go. Yeah, Literally, like, my prom outfit is entirely women's clothes except for the yellow shirt.
Nice.
Like, women's long, white, awesome coat, women's bell-bottom linen white pants. It's sick. Like, the shoes and the, like, shirt are the only things that are men's clothes, and it's dope. So I'm really stoked to dance it up at prom in some sweet clothes.
Nice.
But yeah, that was the audition.
And like you were saying, how they give you some slack.
Yeah.
It's surprising how much slack they actually give you when it
Yeah.
comes down to it. Because I'll put it like this: Charlie Puth.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Charlie Puth.
Uh-huh. Now they do.
Yeah, he went to Berkeley. My sister is in a class with Cara DiGuardi, who was a host on American Idol for a while. He also took that class, or he was like, basically the way the class works is that Cara will choose particular students, and then they go into the class or whatever. So he took that class when he was at Berkeley. It's a lyric and songwriting class. He couldn't write for crap, but that's what he went in as. And literally, his lyrics were terrible. I'm talking like, I can write better lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. And basically, they were like, have you tried singing? And he was like, what do you mean? And they did it, and now he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
So, there's some slack. They expect you to actually be able to learn.
Yeah.
And you may be surprised.
I'm sure a lot of it is about, like, drive and self-discipline and, like, proving that you can, like,
And it's also about
that you're there
marketability.
to be there.
It's
you
also
know?
marketability.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
There's a certain level of, if you can just pull off being an artist, they'll probably
Yeah.
let you in, because if they can, like, have you become famous,
Mhm.
and then you have to be like, I went to Berkeley, then they will take the credit.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah, like, dude, I look so fresh for my interview. I had, like, these pants that I'm wearing right now, these brown corduroy pants. I had that sweet green shirt that I showed you the other week. That's got, like, diamond buttons and whatever. Not, like, actual diamond, but the shape of a diamond button.
Right.
And then I had my suede jacket over that. I had a sweet bandana going. Like, my hair was great for that day. I looked awesome. Just saying.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know how long this episode has been.
Yeah.
But
We
it's
should
been-
probably end it.
It's probably been a while, so we'll check the time in a sec.
Yeah.
In any case, thanks for listening. And
Yeah.
We'll see you on the next episode of Under the Desk.
Yeah. It's been cool.
Bye, guys.
It was nice knowing you.